Hell yeah, we made it. Damn, just in time too. Look at this. Alright. Unfortunately, we gotta lower the music. Oh, snap. Thank you for that well-timed raid. Impressive. Let's give a big shout out to Deadly Ace. Thank you always for the support in the raids. Please go show your support by following. What was said in there? I wish I knew, because I can't read the chat. It's a beautiful thing. Why does Rocket League do that? I think we have an extra spectator. I think that's the story here. Alright. I was gonna say, both teams have to agree, but alright. And B, I saw you sent the tracker. Like I said, I'll get to it after. But right now, we have a match to cast. Alright, looks like both teams are ready to get into it. Welcome everyone to week 7, the final week of the regular season for CPL. And this is tier 5.
This is shocked.
And that's the crossbar sound. We have a custom crossbar sound. If you hear that noise, that is courtesy of Emerson, one of our players' soundbite. But every time it hits the crossbar, you're gonna hear that sound. This is shocked. Exactly, this is shocked. But just to let anybody who is not used to our cast, that's what goes on. But as we were saying, this is week 7, the final week in the regular season. And J-Flash gets quite the shot to start. And splits the defense. The Bud in blue, they strike first. Meanwhile, Spartan Vipers in orange. Got plenty of time left in this one. Only game number 1. Only a minute about to be passed. And still figuring out each other. But yeah, as DeReal gets another goal on top, so the Bud having a nice early start. And yeah, we're just about to say this is tier 5, which is C1 to C2. It's in small writing, but on the top. So if you ever see our cast, you could look at the ranks. We put it in parentheses. But there's only C1 to C2, but it is crazy how much that rank has progressed. But dropping it down. Nothing doing as DJ tries to get it out to the side, but Crimson showing good speed. That's back to J-Flash.
This is shocked. And
hits the crossbar again. We hear it. Alright, Spartan Vipers slow to get started. Looking for their first goal. And sometimes, as a team, you get that first goal under your belt, then they start rolling in. But we're almost at halftime, and the Bud have a clear advantage in this one. Clear lock on game number 1. But dropping down could be dangerous, but real quick to get there and put it out of harm's way. And it dropped. Crimson booming to the other side. DJ trying to collect. And you see those good challenges, the quick speed from the Bud. And try saying that 10 times fast. But Bones here trying to cause a little havoc. Splitting the defense. The Real has been shining lately in this one. We know J Flash scored the first one, but after that we've seen the Real all over having imprints on this. Go next. Gonna be challenged and kicked off to the side. DJ with a touch. Now Bones can apply some pressure. Go next. Keeping it high. Bones waiting back there. Waiting for an opportunity. Is it there? Go next. Trying to find it. And we're seeing some good pressure out of Vipers, but no goals as a result. As solid defense holding down. Now trying for a counterattack, but might get countered themselves. Go next, gets the boost, but that's an awkward ball to deal with. High up, Bones. Can't find the net. And you see the Bud, they're comfortable on defense. They haven't quite been tested. A little more havoc. A little more bumps, demos, perhaps. Sometimes that's what's needed when you have a team patiently waiting in net. They get too comfortable. But like we said, we've seen a lot of good pressure of late, but Vipers can't get a goal. And that is big credit to the Budz. As there's a demo, does it unlock? And bouncing out, but with a little help from the opponents. But I swear, sometimes you get that one demo and a goal follows right after. Sometimes that's how it is. But they score late, but a little too late. As they're going to be down 1 in the series. And the Budz holding it down for game number 1. Had much of this in control. And a solid performance out of them. So game 2, we will be going to Forbidden Temple. Will there be a response? Can I get a sentence out before being told this is shots? We got our 6th in there. And both teams ready to kick it into game number 2. Now a big question. Will there be a response from Spartan Vipers now that they got their first goal out of there? Almost a chip into the net. Could luck be on their side? Bones starts off early. And that is truly the beauty of Rocket League. The response from game 2, you see how a team goes down from game 1. How they respond in game 2. They come out swinging. Much more aggression. Also, perhaps downloading the opponents. Getting more comfortable. But first goal goes to Spartan Vipers. Now, the question becomes, does the Bud respond to that first goal? Maybe they absorb it and come out swinging in their own right. But so it's big 50s in the midfield. Hit off. J Flash. We know J Flash could get the right shots and almost does. And gonna apply that and just start things off for the Bud. J Flash is there again. First goal for them. And has those strong hits. You can see J Flash. That's what they excel in. And there it's on display. Bones. Nice read there. Trying to make it awkward. Caleb has a nice lane to the net. And also got to give credit to Bones starting that up and then go next. Kind of getting in the way. So team play from Spartan Vipers add to the tally and regain the lead. Now Caleb to the air, can do some damage, almost puts it in. DeReal, nice save there, and Crimson, a nice 50. Now they can start a counterattack, but given away. Relatively easy clear, but Crimson has been holding the back line, able to push it to the other side. And there is another example, but Go Next gonna have nice control. Is that in? Oh my god, it's chalk so many ways. And that is going to stay out. And Caleb in a rough spot. He's backwards. And Crimson, like we said, Crimson can get those long clears. And that one results in a goal. 2-2, as this has been a battle. Back and forth. Not one team gaining a solid lead. But drop down. Now Go Next. And push it. And
this is
absorbing a 50. And they luck out again in front of net, but get it off to the side. And tactical fakes. Perhaps. Go Next. Can he get the double? Almost. And that net is almost cleared. Like we said. A little more bumps and demos when you can't break through. And Bones finds the counter right there. As a little awkward touch in front of net. Bones happy to deliver. And yet again, Spartan Vipers take the lead. But will Bud have a response like they've been having? Crimson gets the save and trying to move it downfield. Tripped up. That's going to be in front of net, but Go Next. Good speed. Bones, good cut. Could be an answer, and a good 1-2 over in the corner. And that play made by Bones, cutting. No boost, but still able to delay the defense from challenging. But finally, we have a 2-goal lead for Spartan Vipers. And certainly interesting to see. Are they starting to form into this match? Get to the flow of things. Crimson making it awkward. Bones is there though. And trying the chip shot, almost finds the net. We've seen J Flash and his shots. Almost squeaks one in there. Off to the side. What a touch from Crimson. And they have their own razzle dazzle. A little redirect And what a touch. Trailing back, and this one is far from over. 3-4, but Budz have been constantly in this, constantly tying it up. 50 seconds, you know they're gonna bring it all. But Caleb able to take those 50s, and a lot of time taken away, and still maintaining possession is huge. And in front of net, Go next, hoping to get one through, but now Crimson lets that one go, and a little bit of space means Spartan Vipers can come through here. Let J Flash off to the side, and an awkward touch, but is it a pass? Bones sniffs it out though, and high ball. How can the Budz tie this up? And might catch Spartan Vipers lacking. Almost a chance there, but that's going to be way off to the side. And that is going to do it for game 2. We are tied up. We have a series. And now game 3 is going to be very interesting with both teams gaining a win. So we're going to be looking for a breakthrough. Alright, where are we going next? DFH Stadium, 10th anniversary. I believe we have a substitution for Budz. Yeah, don't be shy. Get in there. So, Kuda joins the fold. And we'll have to see what they can do in this. Jumping in, but Bones almost gets things started nicely for Spartan Vipers. But that's going to hit the crossbar out. And J Flash, a good touch, and trying to make it awkward. Go next is there though. Now trying to feed it to the outlet, and bunched up. This could spell danger for the Vipers, but Bones able to keep pressure. Buy a little time for his team to recenter. And Caleb trying the 50s. He's going to bounce out while Kuda is there for the redirect, but low and taken care of. And we're seeing a lot of team plays trying to form here. Gonna be an interesting one. Both teams really getting into the flow of things. Go next.
This is Josh.
Showing some skills, but that's going to bounce out. And so many opportunities for Vipers in this series that have bounced out. Bones can't get a touch there. And go next. What a clear, but now Budz scrambling to collect and can't find the net. And this could be another opportunity, but Crimson with the clear. And we've seen some good control out of Go Next. And that's a nice little double. The fake added to it for good measure. But trying to find it low and saved. And what a test from both teams. And almost finding the net. Saved by Bones on the reaction. Bones gets a demo and also able to get a few touches on this one. Uh-oh. Big miss. Low boost. Caleb is there. And Bones a little bit off to the middle. a little out of harm's reach. And Vipers, a hard-fought goal, number 1 for Game 3. And we've reached halftime. And that's how low scoring it's been, but jumped the gun. Go Next might have had a chance. Wants redemption. Bones almost sneaks a shot in. Caleb coming through. Might have the double, but ran out. And Go Next trying to follow. But Vipers starting to flow here. You can see their pressure ramping up. They've had solid pressure throughout. And there's another shot opportunity delivered. And those two having a heck of a game, and there's a sequence that proves it. High touch, Kuda can't follow through. Now Caleb, that's gonna be snuffed out by Crimson. And a few demos, they might follow through, but forgot to get the ball. Crimson trying to test the defense there. That's going to be a midfield battle. J-Flash gets a favorable bounce in. And how does J-Flash do it time and time again? Is the first to score for Budz. And truly on some angles. And that's a favorable bounce. Cuts the lead by 1. And still time for Budz to tie things up. A little bit awkward in their corner. A nice touch from Kuda. Pushing it further. J-Flash trying that angle again. But Caleb using the time too high of a touch. And Bones gonna hit the sweet spot, but not so sweet for him. As it can lead to a counter. As J-Flash, one touch. But that one easily cleared from Bones. And Go Next. Showing that dribbling skill. Good control. Bones using everything in the tank. Now Go Next. Gonna collect. Buy some time for his team to get back. And does absolutely that. And almost scores himself. But bunch of 50s midfield. Bones is there and hits the crossbar. Rattling around. But a lot of time ticking. That's a high ball. And tough to square away. Crimson doing everything can. But Spartan Vipers take a huge game 3 to go to match point. Alright, Utopia Coliseum is next. Alright, now we got another one. Unk Res for Budz subbing in. And I'm curious how Budz are, like their team vibe. Seems like everyone's getting some play time. Perhaps they're using it for experience, but hopefully the vibes are good. It seems like it. But they are down in the series, and so last chance for them. They cannot lose. So we're going to see what's on display for game number 4. Spartan Vipers having a lot of momentum their way. They've certainly turned it up since game number 1. And Crimson, light touch. Go next. Gonna collect, as we've said time and time again. And definitely interesting to see how different players tend to play. Might see players that tend to possess the ball more often or tend to boom it or pass, but every player has their preferred method. And that one, awkward but favorable for Crimson. And that's a tough challenge toward your own net. And that can be the result. As Budz up by 1, trying to stay alive in the series. But trying to lob through the defense. Not going to happen now. Go next. Has to go back. Collect boost. Going to the other side into a redirect. But got 2 players from Budz waiting patiently. Crimson booming it down. Might have a shot. Risky in front of net. Luckily, they got Bones quick to attack. And we're seeing a lot more demos in this one. Uh-oh, go next. Can he find the answer? It's rattling around, but they can't get it out. And go next, credited with that one. How does that one go in? I think he got a little touch at the end to help force it forward. But we are tied 1 apiece. And Spartan Vipers will happily take that one to tie things up. And go next. Does he get favored again? Showing the skills in front of net. Awkward, but yet slow and calculated. Go next. Puts his team up by 1. And some great individual play from Go Next in this tough closeout game. As you know, Budz gonna do their best to try and tie up the series. Rez gets it out, but Go Next applying the pressure, gets the bump. Caleb there on the midfield challenge. And J-Flash booming it down. And we do have to mention J-Flash did not score the first one for his team in this one. Go next. Popping it high. Followed by Caleb. Does he have the double? He does, but no threat. And tactical fakes as Rez. Gonna be kicked off of that one. J-Flash not gonna have the power. And Crimson trying to keep it in play, but that's a big clear from Caleb. And a huge goal for Spartan Vipers. Gaining a 2-goal lead in game number 4. Match point. And that makes it a little bit easier for them. Now Budz have to score 2 to tie things up in well under a minute, or well under 2 minutes, rather. But we could just average it, and now it's 1 minute 30. But off to the side, Bones is there, and good spacing from Vipers. Continued pressure, and good things happen as Go Next bounces it off, and Go Next has had some pretty awkward goals go in. Add another. As Spartan Vipers up 4-1. And they have had quite the bounce back. And tactical fake from Caleb. Light touch. That's the smart play. Knows, got the advantage. All he needs is a light touch. Not to force it off the backboard. And finds the angle. As Caleb has had a couple of goals of late. And perhaps wants to add another. But 50 going back. Caleb. Perhaps going to continue on. But 5-1 scoreline in this one as Spartan Vipers really putting it all together. And certainly have had a good season so far. And this only helps as this is the final week of the regular season. So we'll be looking at playoffs soon. And this certainly helps their standing. They've only lost one series so far in the season. And so, congrats to Spartan Vipers taking the win. And of course, we would like to thank both teams showing up, putting on the display. Big shout out to Budz for coming through, putting a good effort.
This is shocked.
And of course, any lurkers out there, you're always appreciated. Thanks for watching this one of CPL, week number 7, C1-C2. And of course, if you voted, then you are correct if you chose Spartan Vipers. So once again, congrats to them. Don't forget to report the results. But yeah, we'll try to make a video of this, post it on YouTube. But again, thanks everyone for watching this late cast